Going on a family holiday to Paris is a big deal for anyone, but especially when the youngest is only 3 years old. And when the 3 of 5 of us are deaf and signing is our first language, it's going to be a real adventure. This has been 3 years in the planning, this trip, but we're actually here for the World Deaf Congress. So we've done London, and now here we are in Paris, and my Lord, it's hot. So we are the Fergusons. In our family, Oliver and I have 3 children. Zoe is deaf, and she's 17. Elijah's 15, and Elijah is hearing. And Carter is 3. Carter's also deaf. I am hearing. I have no deaf people in my background. Oliver comes from a long line of really staunch, strong deaf people, and we're really proud to be part of that community and that culture. In our family, our primary language is New Zealand Sign Language. Between Elijah and I, we speak English on occasion, but if we're in the presence of deaf family members, then it's New Zealand Sign Language. Between Zoe and Carter, quite different, particularly if you were to look at how much they hear. Zoe is defined as moderate severe, so she can get sound at about 85, 90 decibels, which means she can listen to an iPod or an iPhone. Carter, on the other hand, has absolutely no hearing, so on his audiogram he gets no response. So he doesn't benefit from even the most powerful hearing aids.
Coming here and seeing the Eiffel Tower feels weird. Like, in a good way, though, because when I was about 10, when I was a little girl, in my room I had pictures of London, New York, and Paris. I loved those places. You know, they were the symbols that decorated my room, and now I'm here seeing the real thing. I mean, it's unreal, but real at the same time.
So this family trip is huge in itself, but we're actually here for the WFD Congress. So my role is General Manager of Services at Deaf Aotearoa. I am here to present a paper with my colleague Lara on our first sign service. Oliver is President of the Exec Board on a voluntary basis and heads the mission and the vision for the whole organisation. Here in Paris, Oliver's heading the bid for Deaf Aotearoa to host the 2023 Congress.
So WFD comes under the United Nations, the UN. Under the UN, who are an umbrella to a variety of disability organisations, WFD leads the deaf community for the whole world and supports the development of deaf people. So it's really important that we come to the General Assembly, as that ensures WFD has one voice representing deaf people to the UN and to the world. So what do you think, Zoe, about seeing all these people in this environment?
I really like seeing people that I haven't seen for a while. It's kind of weird. It's like being with a family here and waiting to hear if New Zealand wins the bid of the 2023. Yeah, it's cool.
Rub against Greece, South Korea and Rwanda. I think it's going to be a really good result no matter what the vote, but we're really obviously very confident and very hopeful that Deaf Aotearoa comes out on top. There's 3 or 4 parts of the 2.5-week event. So there's a couple of WFD board meetings. There's an interpreting conference, the Wasley Interpreting Conference. There's the World Federation of the Deaf Youth Section camp. There's the General Assembly, and then there's actually the World Congress, which is right at the end. It's the 4 or 5 day event right at the end of proceedings. So it goes for sort of 16, 17, 18 days. It hasn't been held in our part of the world since 1999 when it was held in Brisbane. We've worked for 3 years and put in place a really strong plan. We've had a lot of support from Tourism New Zealand, and I think we stand a really, really good chance, and that's testament to the hard work that a lot of people have put in over the last 3 years.
So I'm helping out at the stall table where we're promoting New Zealand and convincing people to vote for us. And Mostly, I'm really excited about meeting new people, but I'm especially interested in using international sign language because I haven't used it since 2017, which is when I went to Australia for a deaf youth camp. So this is the first time I've been around, like, international deaf adults. So, yeah, I get to use international sign again and meet interesting people, and also hopefully I'll get to meet up with some of my friends this week as well.
We kind of see this trip as being our probably first and last time to do such a big trip as a family. This is our first time using Airbnb, so I was a little bit nervous about what that was going to mean. But we're in the coolest apartment building. It's an authentic 1889 apartment building. The landlord doesn't speak any English, so we had the tour, and I was trying to use my bursary 7th form French, which was not that flash. And for Zoe as well, she sits out on her balcony at night time and she's been writing in her travel journal because it is just what you would imagine a Parisian apartment to be like. It's a nice way to be here in such a natural environment.
When we opened the door and I walked in, we were outside the front first of all, and it looked really cool. It seemed very classical. It reminded me of the classical style. I mean, especially the courtyard downstairs. And I really, really love that style. This week, Mark Berry will be around, and I'd love to kind of follow him or shadow him. I mean, it might be a little bit hard because he's the WFD Youth Section president. But yeah, I'd really like to follow him around and kind of see what he does. What's your role, Mark? What are you doing now?
With the youth section or work?
In your life, what are you up to?
Well, I left New Zealand and moved to Denmark, which opened up a variety of opportunities for me. As you know, I work at Frontrunners, where there is a team of about 4 of us who work together collaborating and planning topics to teach. We've done some study trips. We're planning one to Sweden. There was one recently to London, and the next one is to Spain, Madrid. So, lots of planning involved. I'm also working with the students, teaching them about media, linguistics, and the concept taboo. You know, breaking those taboos, teaching young people to live life the right way for them. Frontrunners is about opening up your mind, speaking about rights, and what your life could be. So I've got a lot of different hats, but I love it.
So, would you be happy for me to maybe shadow you this week to see what you do? Because I'd like to do something like Frontrunners in the future and do advocacy work. Maybe something similar to what you do in the youth section.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome. I'd love you to shadow me, because I'd like to hand over the mantle to you when the time comes, and then for you to pass it on to others.
Mark's a very, very important person to our family, and it's just really nice to see the relationship that Mark and Zoe have is almost brother-sister type relationship because they've known each other since Zoe was 1 or 2. Just really proud of him to see how far he's come and to see that my children are now benefiting from the work that he's doing.
My interest in advocacy has really grown, so I'm keen to do it because, I feel like nobody else is doing it. And with New Zealand deaf youth, I feel like they really need connection. Deaf youth are out there in New Zealand, but not a lot of them get together and meet up.
Okay, Zoe, so maybe it's about time we get back to Congress and meet some other people.
Okay, cool.
When I was growing up, I knew I was deaf. But I thought it was normal. I thought being a deaf person and mixing with hearing people was pretty normal. Then when I was maybe 10 or 11, I was in a football team and the other team members were all hearing. And that had a real impact on me because I'd grown up in a deaf world. I've got a deaf family. I went to a deaf school. I'd gone to deaf events. All of my family could sign. But in this football team, none of them could sign. It felt really different, and I felt, I wish I was hearing, because I wanted to be able to interact with them. They were the same age as me, so I felt like that for about 6 years. But then I went to the WFD youth section, of which I'm president now, and I attended a camp they were running with around 133 people attending, all young people from all around the world.
Je serai très attentive aux propositions concrètes qui émergeront de ces journées. Je vous souhaite des échanges constructifs. Et je conclurai en citant Jean Grémion.
Greetings to you all. There are many deaf people from around the world that are here. And it's important that we include youth.
I was Mark's teacher many moons ago at Van Ash Deaf Education Centre. I was teaching in the high school, and I was just really keen to see Mark branch out and venture further than Christchurch. I could see that there was a whole world that he was so ready for, and it's just so awesome to see somebody in such a powerful position who is so humble and so genuinely wants the best for deaf all over the world.
We are one, but we are here together. We have to think about the future that we have that lies ahead for us. We influence the future. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But thank you.
Right now, I feel like we've had a very special day. It's been about connection. People from around the world gathering, giving speeches, valuing our history. So what brings us here is connection and moving forward together.
I feel really proud of Mark as well. To be president of the youth section and up there on the world stage signing like that, I feel really proud of him. It's lovely.
In the past, I've travelled to different places, but this is the first time I've been to Europe and visited countries consecutively. Before, I've just gone to one place, but this is like a longer trip, and we're changing countries and cities and languages. I mean, London is pretty similar to home, different culture though, and France is like completely different. I mean, I really like it. It's my dream to be here.
Zoe is finishing up school this year, and she's looking to go to Front Runners, which is the course in Denmark for young deaf people to go to, and you've got to be 18 to 30 to go to that. She's looking to do that in the next intake, which would be September. I was nervous about her coming over to Denmark, that being her first experience, so we've seen this as a bit of a stepping stone to say, this is what Europe's like. For me to see her meeting other people and to see her in this environment, and for her to have the opportunity to say, no, it's not what I want, that's all good, or yes, it is what I want, and then we go home and we work towards her applying to get into the course. It's very, very hot. We knew it was going to be summer, obviously, but not nearing 40 degrees. Carter is sleeping a lot, but he's ice blocks and milk and drinks and things, and he's fine. So we thought we were all done with kids when we had Elijah, and we gave away all our Thomas the Tank toys, and we gave away the high chair and the cot and things. In 2016, I did not think we would have another deaf child, and I don't think the system thought we would have another deaf child, because we've done so much fighting the system with Zoe's education. So in New Zealand, we have newborn hearing screening, which is great. So we knew with Carter at 48 hours old that he was deaf. Pretty soon after that, you begin a process of meeting various professionals. And in New Zealand, you're offered bilateral cochlear implants for free. We went through a really difficult process. We went through the assessment and we decided to decline the offer, which was a really hard decision. It certainly wasn't easy. And there's still some times now where I think, Did we do the right thing for him? Have I shut him off from a whole world that maybe he would benefit from? But seeing him here in this environment, I feel like we've made exactly the decision that's right for us as a family and for him as a deaf individual. He's so happy. His language has just flourished in this environment where there's so many signing people around him. Seeing him at the Frank Barnes school that we visited in London, it was just the movement of the hands, the numerous people signing. He was in his element. It almost felt cruel taking him away from Frank Barnes school and thinking, I have to take you back to New Zealand where your only option for education is mainstreaming. You will be by yourself in a school of potentially 100, 200 kids who will not have that language.
I'd now like to welcome to the stage two presenters. From New Zealand, we have Lara and Bridget.
Okay, so my wife Bridget is going to present at the WFD Congress. 2 weeks ago, we were really busy getting the family ready for the trip to Paris and for WFD. And I know Bridget was worried about trying to organise all of that and prepare for her presentation as well. But what she's been most worried about is using international sign language and presenting in international sign.
Okay, are we good to start? Hello, everybody.
Hello to you all.
My name's Bridget, as you can see from the slide, Bridget Ferguson. Today we are going to be focusing on a project and a service that we have called First Signs. Our service is actually aged 5 years old, just like the children who leave our service.
So we'll now share a short video with you to give you an idea.
So we established the First Sign service at Deaf Aotearoa in 2014. So we go into homes where their parents are hearing, or the family. We try and work with the whole family whānau if we can, and develop NZSL in the home in a really family-friendly, family-centred way. So it follows the families. Do you want to learn about bath time? Do you want to learn about bedtime? Do you want to learn how to say, no, that is enough. I've told you, it's only one more lolly. It's empowering parents to incorporate NZSL into their everyday life.
You can see the importance here in the First Sign service is that it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's a very flexible, intelligent service that caters to the needs of the individual parents and families.
Children, they're developing, and they're our future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So my presentation is finished, thank goodness. I was really nervous beforehand. Did you understand my international sign?
Yeah, I understood it.
A lot of the delegates came up to us afterwards and were asking some really good questions. They wanted to know, how did we set up the service? Other people were asking, how did we find the deaf children? They're not able to engage with the families at all. We're really fortunate that we have the Ministry of Ed and the Ministry of Health engaging with Deaf Aotearoa to engage with the families. We also have the Advisor on Deaf Children's Service, and other countries don't have that. We're really fortunate in New Zealand that we work together.
I felt really proud of my wife up there on stage presenting, and of that team standing up there. I was so proud to see how smoothly it went, despite Bridget being so nervous. It was a good audience too, so overall I thought it was successful.
Zoe's interpreter at school is Angela Murray, and so by being the rep, she's had to come to Paris also to attend the interpreters conference, which was last week. So it's kind of like our whole family have come over together.
So with Angela, my interpreter/friend, there was this concert, Lollapalooza, happening at the same time we were there. It wasn't really planned, but I really wanted to go, and there's this band I really love in it, the 1975. So we bought tickets. And Angela came and her flatmate came as well, and the three of us went to Lollapalooza last night. It was really fun.
Right now, I'm a bit nervous about today, but I'm also quite excited.
It's been a big 7 days since we arrived here, and we think New Zealand's got a strong case to host the 19th World Congress. People overseas have got a lot to learn from New Zealand because we are really a leader in the deaf world. With our first sign service, we are the only organisation, the only country in the world that has a full week celebrating their country's sign language. We're not just looking to host it for New Zealand, we're looking to host it for the whole Pacific and the South Americans and Asians as well.
We're really gutted. We have just lost the vote, and quite convincingly lost the vote, which is really, really disappointing. So it looks like Korea have won it head and shoulders above us. Yeah, just really sad. I think he'll be really disappointed as well. I think Oliver and the board and Lachlan have put years into this. And yeah, with all the support around us, it's been huge. So yeah, I think he'll be really gutted as well.
It's really disappointing, but like that's what happens in like a democratic process. That you have to accept it. And
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. Really disappointed. But I accept that we lost. So Greece and Rwanda also didn't win. And congratulations to Korea. What's important, though, is that the Congress continues. Whether you win or lose, it isn't the point. It's about supporting WFD. That is the priority.
So Zoe, the week's nearly finished. What have you learned?
I've learnt about new culture, about France, and about sign language differences. And I've seen old friends.
What would you say about French culture?
I'd say they have different facial expressions. Yeah, facial expressions. And of course, different signing. Also, they kiss one another on the cheek, and I often forget that when I go to say hello.
Some people do 3 kisses, some people do 4. It depends on whereabouts in France you're from. So when you meet someone, you have to remember whether you're supposed to give them 3 or 4 kisses.
Yeah, so far I've only worked with the 2 kisses.
So has this week motivated you to go to Frontrunners, or is that not for you?
I think I'm more interested because of the talks that we've had, Mark.
I think the Congress has been really great. It's been amazing to be here. I think it's good for Kiwis for us to remember that we actually are doing okay. Often we think, well, we're at the bottom of the world, things are pretty bad for us, but on the whole, we're doing okay. There's a long way to go, a lot of things to improve, but it's been great.
Yeah, I want to recognise the New Zealand government because the government is unique. I want it to continue in this way so that things go from strength to strength. Because around the world, there are so many countries where the governments are doing nothing.
Thinking about the future after I finish school, I'm more interested in going to Frontrunners now because I've asked Mark lots of questions about it over this week. This experience has taught me a lot about my identity and just to know what's going on now in the deaf world. To know more about a few things like human rights, yeah, and culture.
Attitude was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.